Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with some news for Total War Rome 2. It feels weird saying that, the game, having been released quite a while ago, and I think most people having moved on from it. However, Creative Assembly is releasing a series of patches. Well, not a series of patches, but a combination of patches, that might be a more accurate description, for Rome 2 on November the 30th. There is a DLC that is paid called Empire Divided, which is going to add a new campaign to the game. And then there's also a quote-unquote free LC, which is called Power and Politics, that is going to overhaul the faction politics system in Rome 2. And that is currently available for beta testing. You can opt into it through your Steam browser. And I am actually very interested in this because one of the reasons I have abandoned Rome 2 and pretty much exclusively play Attila now is because the faction politics in Attila are far superior. In Rome 2, they are really, really weak, and so even though I prefer the setting of Rome 2, where I get to play as, ancient Greeks and stuff, which, I really, really like, the politics are just so weak, it's hard to justify playing it. And in my opinion, they really, really take away from the game. So we're going to see if this new free LC is going to change the game for the better, if it changes enough to really bring people back. But this seems like a nice concession to the historical fans that might be a little bit ostracized at the moment with all the Total War Warhammer stuff that they keep putting out. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. Hopefully you guys are too. Again, you can opt into the beta yourself through your Steam browser. Just right click on Total War Rome 2, go over to the tab that says betas, and then in the drop down bar it should be called Power and Politics. And one thing that they did acknowledge is that this update is probably going to cause issue with a lot of your mods. However, in that same drop-down menu, even after November 30th, when this is patched in, they are going to leave older versions of the game pre-Power and Politics for you if you'd rather just keep playing with the old version and your mods, whether you'd rather just stay there forever or if you want to just wait until the mods have been patched to deal with the new game scripts or whatever. So anyways, let's jump into a campaign and check this stuff out. So we'll be playing Grand Campaign, and my favorite faction is the Spartans in this, so we'll just play the Spartans, because it won't really matter. Again, we're just checking out the politics. So I'll just leave it on hard. That's what I usually play on. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so let's jump straight into what we came here for. And let's see, this looks pretty similar to the old system here. I was hoping for more of an Attila style setup, but let's see, we have this tab here, which is going to show us other parties. So the Heracles Successors is our main party, I guess, and the one that I'm controlling. So my King Arius is the leader of that faction. We also have Nikon and Cleomenes. And then the Disciples of Zeus, which is like another opposing faction led by Galenos, is the one that we're seeing over here. And it looks like we have either the option to secure the loyalty of this party or to just outright purge them. Let's see what these options do. I mean, secure loyalty is pretty straightforward. So negotiate with party leaders to secure their continued loyalty to the regime. Plus 10 loyalty for this party for 5 turns. And then purge. Organized massacre of all who support this party. So up to -4 influence for the target party. You think they'd lose more influence than that if you slaughtered all of them, but okay. -20 loyalty for that party for 10 turns. And -10 loyalty for all other parties for 5 turns. So in this case, the fact that we only have one other party wouldn't be that difficult to purge them. However, this seems like something that you'd have to continue to do, because that -4 is not going to get you very far. I would have to do this like 8 times in order to get these guys down to 0. And I think their loyalty would hit rock bottom well before then. So yeah, it's at 10 right now. And that would do -20 for 10 turns. And if I did it again, 40. And so on and so on. And let's see. Apparently they have party traits. So what are these traits? They like barbarians. They have thirst for power. Probably not a great thing for an other party. -10 loyalty if their influence is lower than the ruling party's influence. Okay. And then subversive. +1 loyalty for each agent action for 5 turns. I was expecting something completely different from that. I thought that they were going to be subversive, not that they liked subversive things. Anyways, there's our other party screen. And then in the character screen, the layout's a little bit different, but it's still really similar. I get what they were trying to do because, again, this is Rome 2, not like Total War Greece or whatever. But I still would have preferred the system from Attila. I think the system in Attila is fine. It's just like, or it's not just like the system in Shogun 2, but it's very similar to that as well. And I think that family tree system works the best. Now, the reason they're not putting it in this game, at least this was their initial reason way back when Rome 2 came out, was that because you know, Rome is not a monarchy during these games, it's supposed to be a republic, that system doesn't represent Rome very well, and they're sort of the star of the show here. However, it represents every other faction in the game pretty well, and this system doesn't work very well for any other faction in the game. So, yeah, I'm still not a fan. At least we have more to work with here, though. So let's see, in this screen we have his political career. Just shows us his gravitas, his ambition, and his political views. That's new. So he's also subversive. Oh, so that comes, apparently that trait in the party comes from him maybe? Or maybe, I don't know. It's difficult to say because he's obviously subversive as well, but I don't know if the leader has any influence on these. Maybe the third one is dependent on the leader, I don't know. Anyways, let's check out Arius, our king here. So he doesn't get a political view. Neither do these guys. So apparently only the other parties do. We have traits. We have household now. So obviously this would be like his wife, and then this would be some sort of household card, which is like, you know, like a shield bearer or something like that, that gives him, you know, better defense for his armies or something like that. And then we have skills, which I think work very similar or almost exactly the same to how they were before. It's been a long time since I've played Rome 2, so forgive me for not remembering exactly how the old system was, because frankly I never came in here because I hated that old system, so I pretty much just ignored it. And I think that's pretty much it. So I've got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting a lot more from this. It is an improvement. I will give them that. There's definitely at least more to be involved with here now. So, you know, we can have some, or hold some sway over the other parties, whereas before, basically my strategy in Rome 2 was everybody in my party would get command positions. I would make them, you know, generals and have them fight. And if they were from other parties, they either never did anything, they just stayed as like statesmen, or if they were still able to earn gravitas because they had high ambition or something, then I would make them a general and just garrison them somewhere where they would never see any combat. And so my guys would gain a bunch of gravitas, these guys wouldn't, and this number would slowly tick up. And that's pretty much faction politics in a nutshell in Rome 2 previously. If there was a general from another party that was particularly good, I would try to adopt him or something over to our side, just because, you know, I didn't want to waste a perfectly good general. But otherwise, I pretty much just, you know, left them to their own devices down here and ignored them. And that seemed to work just fine, so it didn't, like, I really didn't need to put any more effort into it than that. So I guess one possible concern is that might still be the case. Like, you might be able to get away with that. But at least now, if you'd rather be more involved, you have options. Not many more options, mind you, but at least a few. So, yeah, my overall takeaway from this is a bit disappointed. Again, I was expecting something more like Attila, basically every other historical Total War game we've ever had. Or frankly, if they wanted to stay more, you know, I'm not sure how to describe this, like, if they wanted to have this be more distinct from the sort of like monarchy systems that we have from those like family tree things in Attila and Shogun 2, then they could have gone more along the lines of the original Rome's politics system, which was fantastic. But no, they're pretty much married to this system, which I just don't understand because it is not good. And now it's a little bit better, but it's still not good. So I don't think this is enough to bring me back to Rome 2. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this a significant enough change for you to maybe come back and try playing again? Or is this just too little too late at this point? For me, I think it is, especially considering this is not going to play nice with most mods. So even if I was going to come back, I would have to wait until most mods have been patched to this new, you know, update. And a lot of those mods that I'm using are mods I made myself, which I will not be bothering to patch to the new update. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be coming back. But if you guys are, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of the update. Let me know what you think of them releasing DLC for a very, very old game at this point. Not very old, but several years. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time checking in on Total War Rome 2 with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for my next video.